We'll be reviewing the quarterfinals of the World Cup 2026. There's 4 games being played. I've already reviewed one. That was France against Morocco. The other one was Spain against Belgium, and Norway against England, and Argentina against Switzerland. Let's start with Spain against Belgium. You know what? It wasn't a very entertaining game. Both teams played really slow. The build-up was non-existent, really. Spain, for me, it felt underwhelming, sorry. And they're normally very good on the wing-backs. And Lamine Yamal and the other wing-back would have been Biana. And they both of them wasn't really creating too much. And I think Spain were doing a safety first approach against Belgium. Belgium looked good in the second half. They had a moment and to win this game really. Fabian Ruiz scored very early on 30th minute. Then Charles de Ketelaere scored. I think he scored 3 goals in 2 games now. So 1-1 at the break. And the most interesting part of this game was the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes was the most interesting part. Because what happened is they took, and that was really sad to see, they took the goalkeeper off, Thibaut Courtois, for the Man United goalkeeper. So the Man United goalkeeper would have been Lemons. So Courtois went out on the 71st minute and Lemons came in. Then Nico Williams came in for Mikel Oyarzabal. Then Kevin De Bruyne went off on the 86th minute for Salim Smakas. And 86th minute, Mikel Moreno came in as well. So what happened? Let me get back to Thibaut Courtois. Thibaut Courtois, I think, had a muscle injury. And that's the reason why he couldn't carry on. So he got substituted on the 71st minute. And he were in tears. Literally. He was in tears. He couldn't believe it. I don't really understand why he couldn't carry on, but I said if you can't kick a ball, let someone else kick a ball for him. A defender, centre back, or something like that. But as a goalkeeper, you also need your muscles to jump high up in the air to make a save. He probably didn't want to come off. He probably knew as well it might be one of his last time he'll play at the World Cup or play for Belgium. So that's the reason why he's in tears. So the substitute goalkeeper, Senne Lemons, came in. Man United player, played really well last season for Man United. Kevin De Bruyne came off as well on the 86th minute. As I said, he might be fatigued. I think he had fatigue then. But what happened on the 88th minute? Mikel Moreno came in the 86th minute. So the centre back had the ball. The Barcelona centre back, Kubarsi had the ball, moved it forward, and then took a shot. When it took a shot, the goalkeeper, Lemons, fumbled it. So when he fumbled it, Mikel Moreno at the time, the centre back had the ball and he was moving forward. Mikel Moreno went forward with him because he was literally next to him. So he had a shot, Kobarasi. Lemons spilled it, and then Mikel Moreno was there, scored the goal. He always scores important goals. That killed Belgium. But Belgium didn't play really well. But at one point they were on top, but they couldn't capitalize on that. And Lukaku came on later in the second half as well. He didn't really do too much. They only had 2 shots on target throughout the whole game. Can you believe that? And Spain had 8 shots on target. Spain killed them with possession, 68% possession, compared to Belgium's 32% possession. They had over double the amount of passes. Spain had 663 passes, and Belgium had 295. I always knew Spain was going to win this game against Belgium because I didn't think Belgium had enough of a threat going forward, but I knew it was going to be tight. If Thibaut Courtois didn't get off that pitch with an injury, I think Belgium would have gone into extra time. And the longer the extra time goes on, I think the longer Belgium had chance of winning this game. But unfortunately, Belgium lost because of that big error by the goalkeeper, and they went out. The next game it is that I'm going to review will be England against Norway. That was a very good, very interesting game. So the big lineup and the difference is Ponsa played right back, Stones played centre back, and Madueke and Gordon was on their wings. And yeah, and Haaland played up front. Ferenc Odegaard, Patrick Berger, Steven Berger. They've had some good team, Norway. The first goal was a worldie. It's one of them Ronaldinho goals by Andres Schelterup for the 36th minute. He was on the wing, he's a left winger, and he shot across like a Ronaldinho thing he did against David Seaman. Caught Pickford off guard. So Pickford he thought it was going over, but went in. He misjudged it, a big error. Pickford does have them kind of errors in him. But the big chance was when it was 1-0. Haaland and Sorloth were against one of the defenders of England. If Sorloth was on the wing, Haaland was there, Sorloth was there, and they were defending in between. He just had to square it, and Haaland would have tapped it in 2-0. And I don't think England would have come back then. So England went down. No, Jude Bellingham just scored before half time, actually. 47 minute he scored. Really important goal before the half time. So yeah, so at half time was 1-1. When it was 1-1, and they put in Bukayo Saka, took Noni Madueke off. They took Declan Rice off and put Esse in. And then Norway had a corner on the 57th minute. The ball came in, a little bit scramble in the box, and then it got finished. But the referee went to VAR because Haaland pushed Elliot Anderson before the ball was in play. So what happened is no goal, and the and the corner had to be retaken because the foul was committed before the ball came into play. That was on the 57th minute, but that was soft, I think. Very soft. On the 57th minute, another chance, another escape England had. So in the 68th minute, they put on Oscar Bob and Antonio Nunes. They do that all the time around 68, 70, 78th minute. Because these two guys are direct, and very good on dribbling. They can beat their man. So what did England do? They took Anthony Gordon off and put Reece James in. And also they took O'Reilly off to get some more legs and put Jed Spence on. So what happened after that is England held on. England held on so much all the way up to And then Jet Spence actually England had a penalty. Jet Spence went into the box and he put his leg in front of the defender. The defender caught him. The referee gave a penalty first, and then he went to VAR and said it was no goal. So that penalty got overturned in the 102nd minute. And when that's happened, is Jude Bellingham scored an amazing individual goal. He took the ball from the right wing, came across, beat two man, and slotted it in the corner. Jude Bellingham was the man of the match of this game. At 6 games, 6 goals. He's the youngest ever player to score that many goals after Kylian Mbappé and Pele. So Jude saved England. So Jude Bellingham scored his second goal on the 93rd minute in extra time. And what happened is, like they always do, they put the big man, Dan Burns, in, closed the game. England closed the game, and they are facing Argentina in the semi-finals. But the main man, the man of the match, is Jude Bellingham, without a shadow of a doubt. He pushed and pushed England forward, and he had to be 2 individual goals to win this tie against Norway. But Norway also did, and I didn't agree with, is they took Haaland off early on, and I couldn't believe they took Haaland off. It just didn't make sense when they took Haaland off. Up 70th minute, 80th minute, they took Haaland off, and I didn't understand that at all. And I think that's where they lost the game. Now, Norway played really well. First time they ever reached the quarterfinals. England will go into the semi-finals on Wednesday, and they'll play Argentina. And then we'll wait and see where it takes. But England are getting closer and closer and closer, and still not playing very well, as they did the first game against Croatia. But end of the day, if you win, you win, and that's what matters. So let's go to Argentina now. The last quarterfinals. They played Switzerland. McAllister opened his score at 10 minutes. Then nothing really happened until the second half. Dan Ndoye scored after 67th minute. And this is where the tie changed. Brel Mbole first, he got a yellow card for diving. He got a yellow card for tackling, I think. And the second one was for diving. That was crazy. And the 72th minute. So at the moment, Argentina against Switzerland was 1-1. And Mbole, the striker, got a red card. So now, Switzerland have to play with 10 men against Argentina. It goes into extra time. When it goes to extra time, Julian Alvarez scores a worldie in the second half of extra time, so 112th minute. He's on the edge of the box. He goes round it and just kills it into the right hand side of the goal. Bang. 2-1. Argentina broke the deadlock. Switzerland's hearts are gone because they've been playing with 10 men since the 72-minute mark. And then Switzerland just went for it. They threw the kitchen sink at Argentina. You know what the Argentina and Messi FC did? They hit them on a counter-attack. They put on Lisandro Martinez, the Inter Milan captain, and he passed it through to another Argentine player. The Argentine player 1 against 1. The goalkeeper saved it from the rebound. Lisandro Martinez just scored. Bang. Game, set, and match. Argentina go into the semi-finals against England with Messi FC. Messi didn't score this game, and that's a bit surprising. But always knew Argentina was a bit more, a bit stronger than Switzerland. Switzerland they always go to the knockout stage without a shadow of a doubt. But they needed to be amazing, and they weren't really. And they had some good chances. They could have finished Argentina off, but after that red card, that silly red card, the game was uh, tipping towards Messi FC and Argentina. So it was a good game until they start playing really in the second half. Both teams from the second half was very interesting, and then the ending was very entertaining. When Joel Alvarez scored a worldie and Lazuna Martinez finished it off. But in the last 3 games, Argentina have gone to extra time. So that must take a lot out of them, especially now they're playing England, a team similar level to themselves. So it'll be a not it won't be a derby, but two teams that really hate each other because of the Franklin War. And England haven't faced Messi yet in an Argentinian colour. The last time England played Argentina is when David Beckham scored that penalty in the Far East. I think it might have been 2002. That's the last time Argentina played England. Messi has never faced England, and England has never faced Messi. But I'm going to do a full review of the semi-final and my predictions of the semi-final and tomorrow, and that will be uploaded tomorrow. So the semi-final is Spain against France, Argentina against England. Spain against France will be on Tuesday night. England against Argentina will be on Wednesday night. I think it's the top 4 clubs in the FIFA ranking. It's never happened before. So it's going to be very interesting. I've also always predicted from the beginning, as you can see probably in my predictions, when you go back into my channel, that I predicted Kylian Mbappé Golden Boot and France to win the World Cup and Mbappé to be the player of the tournament. So it's getting closer. And Kylian Mbappé is getting closer. So it's very watering and very good semi-final. It's a semi-final probably we're most happy with when you look at it. We didn't really want Switzerland to go through and play England because that's a bit of a... They're both not on the same level. Argentina will drag England to their level because England knows they have something to play for. And then Spain against France, they're equal as well when you look at it. So very good semi-finals. The World Cup is nearly ended. I feel kind of emotional because at the end of the World Cup, there's 104 games I've probably watched and analysed. I've seen and I've learned a lot of different players in this World Cup. Players that I've never knew before. Countries that I didn't think would get anywhere in football, like Cape Verde. What else? Cape Verde, Curacao. There's a lot of teams that proper surprised me. So very interesting. And it's a bit sad leaving or having the World Cup to be the last. This is going to be the last week of the World Cup coming up. And the semi-finals will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and the final will be on Sunday. And that's it. The World Cup is done for another 4 years. No more Messi, no more Ronaldo, no more Kevin De Bruyne, no more Thibaut Courtois, no more Lukaku. We can go on and on and on. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna make a video for all the legends that will be retiring at the World Cup. No more Neymar at the World Cup 2026 because there's gonna be a lot of legends that we watched for a very long time retire. So make sure you put a comment. So who do you think is gonna win the semi-final? Put it in your comments. What do you think was the best game of the quarterfinals? I think the most interesting game of the quarterfinals was Norway against England, without shadow of a doubt. Was very, very interesting. Was off your seat kind of moments, VAR decisions, penalties, decisions that went against Norway, and a lot of things went on in that game. That was the game of the quarterfinals. So what was your game of the quarterfinals? Who do you think is gonna win the Golden Boot? Who do you think is gonna win between them four teams? And who do you think is gonna be going into the final? And tell me the man of the matches of all two games. Who do you think is gonna be the man of the match? Let me all know. Tell me all about it in the comments, please. Make sure you like, hype, and subscribe. This is a brand new channel for fans, by the fans. We need all the support we can. So make sure you subscribe, please. There's another one. See you in the next video. Let's go.